this here stacker, I'm going to be eating makeup food. I outdid myself on this, so I'm going to be putting it in the refrigerator in my Tupperware. Put my Tupperware container. So expensive. Cost me a lot of money. It was borderline of being too salty. But with the right amount of liquid, you can drown out the sodium taste that is in my food. That tastes like I put quite a bit of salt in it. So I really like this. This comes from Aldi's. It's like Velveeta cheese skillet dinners, but it's an off-brand. It comes with a real packet of cheese sauce like Velveeta and all that. I made some beef stroganoff. Get me a little marker and write on this bag, stroganoff. Well, it's turkey stroganoff, not beef, because I don't eat beef because my hemoglobin is too high and I don't need red meat. And I put some mushrooms in it. The only kind they had at Ollie's was stems and sprouts or whatever it is. So that's what I put in it. I taste tested the milk before I added it to make sure that it was still good. I drank it out of the jug because I bought it and it's my milk. I boiled the noodles in bouillon powder. That's where a lot of the sodium comes from. And I use chicken bouillon stock out of the noodles with the pasta water. In my meat mixture, I put a little bit of extra seasoning in it, bouillon and bacon fat, and garlic powder. I was going to cook on here. It would have been awesome too. But then when I cook on here, I want to talk. And I don't eat my food right away and it gets cold. So I decided not to. But y'all missed a good one when I opened the little season pack to go in the meat and the noodles before you put the sauce packet in it. And it ripped and went all in my face. There's powder everywhere. Why is that funny? Because it's me. And I do shit like that all the time. I was like, well, ain't that just nice? But, took me a little nap from, 5 to 8, and then or 9, and I got up. And I want to tell you how I got up. I was woken up out of my sleep. It don't look like I got enough mascara on this one eye over here. I was woken up out of my dead sleep by about 6 ants biting me on my arm. Over here. I don't know. It's hard to see it. Like, the lighting sucks in here. There's my whelp. I called exterminator. I don't know how I'm supposed to afford to pay them $150 to come out here one time. I highly doubt so. I ordered me a $10 natural bugicide, and I see where they're coming in through the wall over here. So I'm gonna move all my dog food in here to the kitchen and cat food because I don't want to get bug spray in it. Even if it's all natural and not supposed to harm the dogs, I still don't want them to eat it, you know. So I'm going to move it all in here in the kitchen, over here around this back wall, and I'm going to spray the whole wall. I'm going to move my dog crates out and everything and just spray around this whole wall right here where they're coming in at, and then spot spray in here in the living room kitchen area, because that's mainly where they are. And I'm going to move my bed out, spray down that wall so they'll quit climbing on my bed. Hopefully it'll make a barrier. I'm going to spray outside around the front door. I seen some on the top step right there. And spray right there where I can see around the underpinning. That's the only thing I know to do, because I don't have $150 to pay past man. I just don't. What is coming in? Fire ants. 4 ants. They're getting on me in the bed. I just got about 4 or 5 off of me just in the last few minutes. Squished them. Quit! Lay down. Now, you're going to knock me off the bed. Go on. I know you're a happy wiener, but go on now. Pushing me off. Hey. This eye over here looks perfect. Looks like it's got plenty of mascara on it. And why does this one look like it has nothing on it and it's naked? By the way, this is that freaking viral TikTok bubble shit from Maybelline. That shit ain't worth a damn fiddly fart. It don't make you look like you got lash extensions. What happened to you? Lord, if I don't poke myself in the damn eye when I'm putting on mascara or eyeliner and make my eye look like somebody has punched me one good time, then I ain't got enough on. I so want to do lash extensions, but after I got glue inside my eyeball last time and that shit burned for 2 hours, I just said, fuck that shit. I just look like I'm a naked mole rat. When I put on my eyeliner and everything, my eyes look bloodshot, like I've had one too many. But I needed to put on some makeup, because if y'all can't see, I'll point it out for you. I have hormonal pimples on my chin. And you know how they are. So it's hard to transition from looking like you ain't got no makeup on of the 2000s and 20s like we're supposed to now. We're supposed to put a lot of rouge on and no damn makeup, or make our makeup look like it's just our natural skin. Well, honey, my natural skin has got some damn sunspots and fucking freckles, and then I've got a mutated mole up under my eye. I don't want my skin to resemble natural. But if you put on eyeliner up under your eye like I do, then you're the 90s look, where we used to put down makeup on that was too dark for us so we could look orange. And you're trying to be a punk. So there was 2 kinds of people back then. The preps and the punks. And I was a punk. And we made fun of the preps. If you was cool, you couldn't wear certain clothes. Hey, or you'd be made fun of. We couldn't wear preppy shirts. And I think about that a lot when I put them said shirts on now today. As I'm 30 years old, I was like, yeah, I'd be damn made the hell fun of if I'd wore this when I was 16. And we know what kind of shirts I'm talking about. The V-neck shirts. The polo shirts that buttoned up and that had collars on them. Those were the prep shirts. You couldn't wear those. And if you did, they would look at you. Man, you dress like a prep. Who you trying to impress? Your mama. Yeah, but you couldn't wear them when we was kids, when I was teenagers and stuff. Lord, there was a dress code. And then as my uncle's old lady that is my second cousin told me, she said, oh, when you was a teenager, you went through a goth stage. No, honey, I'm still in that damn goth stage. I like my hair black, red, dark lipstick, dark makeup, looking pale as a ghost when I do my makeup, and thick eyeliner, black eyeshadow. There ain't no phasing to being goth. But the simple thing of the matter is that I'm cheap and I'm poor and I can't afford them kind of clothes. So I can't dress in all black. I can't afford it. But if I could, I sure as hell would. I do like pink though. But I ain't no bright colored person. Gray and black is my colors. And I like my hair black with purple in it, and I'm thinking about dyeing it back black and put some purple streaks in it. Keep a couple strands out. I need to fix this eye, and it's gonna drive me crazy. So I didn't have a goth stage. I hate every fucking thing bad shit has happened to me, and I want my wardrobe and looks to resemble how I feel inside. That was a projection of how I felt. It had nothing to do with I just wanted to dress like that because I thought it was cool. I was like that due to my family life, home life, whatever you want to call it, lack of. It was not stable. It was not loving. It was so confusing and chaotic, and everybody else had a mom or a dad or two, a mom and a dad, two moms, whatever you wanted to call it. They had a support system. They had a home to go home to. They had people to talk to. They had brothers and sisters that didn't do things to them like was done to me at home. So, go on, Wiener. I don't want to caress you right now. I'm on a live stream. Thank you. So, I was not going through a goth stage. I just felt that way inside, and I couldn't understand why all that stuff was happening to me when I was such a good person. And I was just thinking about it, how people use me because I'm so kind-hearted, and how I've changed that here recently and just had to cut people off and cut people out of my life because they was using me. I mean, by the time I was by the time I was 14, I'd been to 3 different funerals to people that was the world to me. In funeral homes, churches, gravesides, seeing corpses. That was a lot for a young person to have to go through, you know. For 6 months, at the age of 14, I had never seen other than a person that had been messing with me. I had never seen a man's area, and to have to help change my pawpaw and see his stuff, that was very traumatic for me and made me feel really uncomfortable having to help change his diaper at the age of 14. No, I do not. Nope. I told you I was going to tell you. I'm going to announce it. And when you know, when my papa had all them strokes and become a vegetable like he was, and my grandmother, she died in, I think, the 7th of January 2004, I didn't have a home anymore. I helped when my papa at my uncle's old trailer that nobody had lived in since he passed, but my grandmother had to take my papa there because they didn't think that his house was good enough. It didn't have central heating and air and stuff. And I didn't have a home. My grandmother was grieving her parents and couldn't deal with me. Just didn't want me there. And my mom was too busy going off and doing things that she should have never been doing in the first place, and living her single life without kids' responsibility or consequences. Hey. So I was just on my own. That's when I moved in with Michael, and then when his mama decided to move him and his 17-year-old sister back to where her family was from in Georgia, I lost the only friend that I had, I felt like. And he begged me to go with him, and I knew my mom would never let me go, even though that she didn't want me. And that's what I told him. And I feel like my life would have been so much different if I would have been allowed to just leave. We're still friends on Facebook. He got married his senior year in high school. He met his wife and got married. But she wouldn't let me go. And after him and his mom really wasn't a good person. I believe she's passed away from, like my mom did, from doing things she shouldn't have been doing. And his sister is missing. Nobody knows where she's at. Nobody's seen her. And she turned out just like her mother. She lost all her kids to the state. She had a child when she was 17 because she didn't have a good home life. The state took them all away, and she ended up just like her mom. And that's sad. But I didn't have anywhere to really stay. I bounced around from place to place to place. And I spent a few months in my mom's house that she'd bought in Logan with my aunt. And then I went to foster care for a week or two. And then they gave me right back to my mom. And I lived out the last couple months of her life. I think maybe 12 months she lived after that, until I had to watch her die. And then I was given a choice: leave and never come back, or we'll put you somewhere. So my boyfriend was POS, by the way. He wouldn't go back to Tuscaloosa and shack up with this 16-year-old and him 30. So he wanted me to take him, drop him off. So that's what I did. And then I stayed from house to house to house up there. Never knew where I was going to sleep, where I was going to be. That's most of my life. I've never had a home. Never felt that security of having somewhere that somebody don't get mad at you and throw you out. People just mistreat me and use me for money, whatever they could get off of me, and may have to take it because I didn't have anywhere else to go. somebody to clean their house, somebody to do this, somebody to do that. And that's how my whole life's been. And then I married my husband when I had to come back because I ran out of money. And my grandma was like, oh, it'll be different. Just come back home. Oh, it was so much worse. It was so much worse than you could even imagine the horror of it. It was just a trap house. It was just horrible. They had destroyed the house. They had destroyed one of the bathrooms, pulled the plumbing out of the walls. That trailer looked brand new. My uncle would never ever have had a home that was messed up like that. He was a very upstanding, hello person, and he had to have nice things because he worked his ass off and he was going to have nice things. He had a nice truck and everything. And I gave all I had to try to help people. I did. And to help my mom and to take care of her. That was not my responsibility to take care of her. To clean her up when she'd get messed up, to drive us home, to take care of her. That was her responsibility to me because she chose. She chose to be with a person and have a child. She chose not to use birth control. She knew what birth control was. She got on birth control when she was 16 years old. She used birth control through her first marriage. She knew what it was. She chose to have me. So when you choose to have a child, to bring a child into the world, because back then you had lots of options like you don't now. When she chose to not only get pregnant, but to carry me to term and to birth me, she had a responsibility to take care of me and teach me and learn me and enable me to be able to be a strong and independent person, and she never did that. Ever. She was the most selfish person I've ever met in that index. So of course my relationship with him didn't work out. He just using me. He told me that him and his mom had come up with a plan because she knowed I was going to get a settlement off of my mom for him to be nice to me so they could get money off of me. And she talked to this lady I was staying with, and this lady had mental problems, and she's also related to my ex, which is my youngest child's father on his father's side. Second or third cousin to him. And her daughter had went off with her sister to a clearance event at a closing down Family Dollar. She had bought this girl some outfits and spent like $60 on her. She was pregnant and going to have to go to school and everything. This girl about 15 years old. And they had took my blow-up mattress and aired it up and let somebody else sleep on it. And when I come in real late, there wasn't nowhere for me to sleep but this girl's bed in her bedroom, and her bedroom's filthy. All the way to the ceiling filthy. Like the person that was renting to them was about to evict them because she wouldn't clean it up, which was also the lady's sister. And she was on to her all the time. Well, she had went in there and laid all these clothes down on top of her bed. And I didn't know that because I didn't turn on the light when I went in there. Well, I threw the clothes in the floor. And her mama come in there and slapped me as hard as she could across the face the next morning and told me to get my fucking ass up. And when I went in there, she asked me why the fuck did she had her sister for backup. They was going to jump me. There was a whole bunch of people in there. She asked me what the fuck did I think I was doing by throwing her daughter's brand new damn clothes that her sister bought her in the fucking floor, and her cat had shit on one of them. The girl was okay with it. She said, yeah, I know we took your bed and you didn't know that those new clothes or whatever. I said, I didn't. And the clothes only cost like $2. Well, she's like, well, my ex's mom was like, I just beat her fucking ass over it. You're a stupid fucking bitch. How dare you do that? That is not your room, you know. And I'm just standing there not saying anything because I feel like saying something would make the situation worse, and I'm very outnumbered. And her sister looked at me and she said, What the fuck's wrong with you? Why would you do that? I said, I didn't do it out of malice. I didn't do it to mess her clothes up. I did it because I thought it was just some of her old nasty clothes that she hadn't washed in forever. And I just wanted a place to sleep, and her bed wasn't that clean anyway, but I didn't have a choice. I was tired. I'd come in real late from somewhere, and I just wanted to go to sleep. So she said, well, you're going to pay me back when you get your check. You're going to pay me $200 for all them clothes. I talked to her sister, and she said she spent like $50 on all them clothes. She said it wasn't a lot of money. She didn't have a lot of money, and she just wanted something to do, something nice for a start. There's two sisters. One of them is the one that bought the clothes, and the other one is her younger sister that she called to help her publicly shame me and try to start shit. And if I started shit back with them, they was just going to whoop my fucking ass. So I talked to the older sister that bought the clothes. She said, I spent like $50 on her. It ain't no big deal. I understand that you thought that it was just some of her old nasty-ass clothes that she needed to put in the garbage and wouldn't clean up. And, yeah. So it come time, the first of the month, which I only got $400 a month to live on. $460, I believe, is how my SSI check had started out back then. So I had to have a payee when I first got my benefits started. That's the way the psychologist told them that I needed to be, because I was young and they didn't think that I could manage my money on my own because I was young and everything. And when I started getting my check, I was underaged. I didn't have to have a payee once I got married, is how they set it up. I don't know how they do that shit, but that's the way it was. So my grandmother, now remember, I told you that my grandmother cared more about my half-brother than she ever did me. My grandmother was the one getting my check. And back then they were paper checks. So she went to Walmart, cashed it, gave it to my brother, and I never got a dime of it. So I was avoiding this crazy psychopath that I was having to live with. I had 3 of my dogs there, and one of them had puppies that was about 2 weeks old. I was avoiding this psychopath and had been staying down the road at somebody else's house where I didn't have to deal with her. Well, 2 of my friends was going back to take us back down to this girl's house down the road where I'd been staying at. And they had to stop there, and I begged them not to. But they wouldn't fucking listen to me. They had to stop there and to get the girl's door key because her stepdaddy was up there hanging around with them at their house. That was a hangout for all the delinquents. And she drove me out of the car. Tried to drag me out by my hair, jerked a big old chunk out of my head, and dragged me out by my neck. Said I was going to go in there and talk to her whether I liked it or not, and I tried to fight and get away from her. She wouldn't turn loose of me. She got me by the foot and dragged me down in front of her house in the gravel up towards the door. And I finally kicked her in the face and got away from her. I lost my shoe, one of my shoes. The girl I was in the car with, I bruised her arm trying to grab a hold of her to get away from her. And she called Law, and her daddy and mama come up there with the pew-pew so we could get back in the car and get away. I had bruises and abrasions, ended up having to go. I had bruises and abrasions, ended up having to